Hey everybody, it's me again. I am going to make a couple things today that are Weight Watcher friendly and that are really good. I'm from the South, well, Missouri, southern Missouri, and my grandma helped raise me, so she grew a garden that had everything in it that we would pretty much eat for the year, and green beans was one of them. She had the big pole beans, and they looked, like that little pole bean, and I would help her pick them, and then we would snap them and put them and cook them down. So today I'm going to do a green bean, fresh green beans, cooked down with a little bit of bacon grease in them, and it'll be about a 1 point for your serving, with some salt too. So you just buy a bag or individual green beans, or you do about 2 pounds of green beans, and I snap the end off that's got the, where it hung from the vine. I do not do the bottom end, and then I'll snap them in half. I have a few here that I didn't do. It's pretty easy. I remember doing this with my grandmother at the kitchen table. And we would snap beans, and we would purple whole peas. And your fingernails, underneath your fingernails would be all purple from the purple whole peas. Oh, I remember that like it was yesterday. She taught me an awful lot. Alrighty, now I've got all 2 pounds of green beans in here. And I'm going to cook these down most of the day. I cook them down quite a bit. I even have to add a little bit more water. I've got water in this pan up to about here, about halfway. Water and the 2 pound of green beans. I do like to use a non-stick pan because these will stick if they're in a Silverstone pan. Trust me, I burnt some one time doing that. So put the 2 pounds in here, and then I use kosher salt, coarse kosher salt. This is my favorite salt I use for cooking, and for table salt I use sea salt, that's the finer salt, but this right here is really good salt for cooking. And I put it in a salt well that I got from Walmart. It's a Pioneer Woman one, and I put quite a bit of salt in this pan because you are going to cook these down throughout the day, and the water will just get more intense, and plus you're going to add water too, so you might have to put more salt in it as you go. You just kind of want to test it and see. I save bacon grease. My husband eats regular bacon every morning. I eat turkey bacon, but he eats the regular bacon, and I save all my bacon grease, and then I just put them in a little mason jar. Bacon grease is 2 points, I think, a teaspoon, but I'm going to put a tablespoon. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons in here, and the 2 pounds of green beans feeds a lot. It equals out to be 2 points, I think 1 or 2 points. I'll have to double check on that, a serving. So just go ahead and put your bacon grease. If you don't have bacon grease, just throw you some bacon in there, regular bacon, and then it will render while you're cooking it, and then you can just throw it out. That way you're not actually eating it. Okay. Alrighty. So I just put 2 tablespoons in there, and this usually will feed anywhere from 6 to 8 people, depending on how hungry they are. But they are so yummy that I'll get a couple servings, because I think they're 1 point a serving. That's what I figured when I made this recipe. Alrighty, so I'm going to put them on the stove, and like I said, I'm going to cook them down all day, and this is kind of what it looks like. It's kind of gross looking with that fat in it, but I'm telling you, in the South, that's all you can do is bacon grease. It's good. It's kind of hard with the Weight Watchers, but I do incorporate it. So I'm going to go ahead, turn my stove pretty high here to get it going, and then I'll turn it down. I am going to put a lid on it just to help with the steam. You want to keep as much liquid in it as you can. If it gets a little low, just add a little bit more liquid, and that will solve that problem. Okay, so that's pretty much all the bacon grease we're going to use in this show, or in this episode. Okay, so now I would like to show you my recipe for chicken salad. Now, this is really, really good. I take it to work a lot of the times, and I just really like it. It's a really good little summery dish. So I take 2 cans of this Tyson white meat chicken. It's 0 points for 24 ounces, which is 2 of these cans. I drain it really, really good, so it's not wet. I'm gonna go ahead and put that in there. I let it set for an hour or so. I'll open it up in the morning and drain it, and then put a paper towel over it and let it set. So there's our chicken, boop, boop, in the bowl. Some of the chunks are big like that. I just kind of break them apart. You don't want to demolish the chicken too much, but you want it in kind of a bite-size piece. This chicken here is all white meat, and that's my favorite, is the white meat. And that's the parts that are 0 points as well. So just kind of fish around for any giant chunks, and then just kind of break them apart a little bit. And that helps with everything. Not too little, because when you mix it, it'll break down some too. I gotta get a hand towel. It'll break down as well. Okay, so we've done 2 cans, or you could just do 1 can. If you just want a couple servings, you can just do 1 can, but then of course half what I'm doing, you know, so it will just be for 1 can, but I'm gonna do 2. Okay, now I put mayonnaise in it. Now this is Best Choice mayonnaise. This is really not the mayonnaise that you would need to use. You need to use Hellmann's Light or any other mayonnaise that's 1 point a serving. For whatever reason I bought this, I didn't realize that this is 2 points a serving. But I would check your mayonnaises, because some of them are different. Some are 1 point, some are 2 points per serving. And a serving is a tablespoon. So this is going to be a little bit higher for me, but we're going to pretend that this is Hellmann's Light. So it will just be 1 point a serving. Okay? So I put grapes in my chicken salad. Where are my grapes? Did I lose my grapes? I've lost my grape. Oh, here they are right in front of me. Huh? Okay, I use red grapes or black grapes, whichever grape you prefer. Green, I'm just not a green grape person, but if you like green grapes, then put green grapes in there. But I prefer the red or the black. And I just cut them in half. And I'll probably do, I don't know, 1.5 cups. It really doesn't matter. Just kind of a ratio thing, really, because grapes are 0 points, so it doesn't really matter. So far, our chicken and our grapes are 0 points. So we're just going to kind of cut this up. I want you to be able to see what I'm doing here. I just kind of cut them in half. If that's too big for you, then you can cut them in 4s. This knife really is not a good knife for me to be using with that. A littler knife would probably be better. Yep, that's better. Alrighty, so we're going to cut these in half. And these really add a sweet element and a refresh, like a burst of juice when you're eating the salad, because the white meat is a little dry. So these grapes really, really do make like a burst of sweetness and just extra moisture that the chicken needs, because it's so dry, that canned chicken. Now you could use fresh chicken if you want to boil a chicken, or if you have leftover smoked chicken or roasted chicken breast. You can more than happy use that. Just whatever you have on hand. I like the canned chicken just because it's easier. I can do it whenever I want. I just keep a couple cans in the cabinet in my pantry, and I can pull them out whenever, kind of like tuna. You just kind of whip it out when you want it. Alrighty, I got 2 more here, and we'll finish these up. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add this into my chicken. And I don't put any spices or anything in this, but you are welcome to put whatever you like in it. Some people will put celery. I'm not a raw celery person. I like mine cooked. So I don't put celery in this recipe, but you can. You know, a lot of people like that raw celery. And now I'm going to put, and sometimes I'll just judge. So, like, remember, we're pretending that this is Hellmann's, and it's 1 point for one of these per serving, which is a tablespoon. So I'm going to, I usually put about 3 in here, but you can always judge. I don't like, whoops, I don't like it to be super creamy, because, you know, the more you put in it, the more your points are. So I'm going to attempt to do 3, and then we're going to kind of see what it's like. Try to get it all out. You want it all. Okay, that was 1. And if you're making this for like a family reunion or a party or whatever, it really goes a long way because it doesn't take a whole lot of this. So, and then we'll just kind of, and I think I have done this, the 2 cans for 4 servings. So, but we're going to have to kind of see what 4 servings is. I'm pretty sure it's going to be plenty. Okay, we're going to do the 3 tablespoons and kind of see where that gives us. Now, before I stir, I like to put in walnuts. Now, walnuts are high in points, but walnuts are good fat. They're good for you, like avocado is good for you. So, this is going to be some points, but I only put a 1/4 cup in. So it doesn't make it too bad when you have serving of 4. Okay? If you want more, add more. Just know that your points will increase. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and gently kind of mix it up. Try not to cut into it too much because then your chicken will just fall apart. So just kind of stir. And now you can kind of see it, how, if you want it creamier than that, I am more of the drier. I just like the mayonnaise for the salt factor, more so than the creamy factor. So to me, I think, I mean, we could go another tablespoon, but let me just kind of, I just kind of like to test it and see. I think it's fine. And you could actually leave the mayonnaise out altogether. But I do like that little bit of creamy, just a little bit of creamy in it. It's really good with those grapes. And like I said, you can add more or less grape. And I think that's probably plenty of grape. Because I like to have a bite of grape with every bite. Because like I said, that sweet burst is just to die for in this little chicken salad. And I don't eat this on bread, but you can. Might be a little clunky for bread, but I usually will just put it in a little container, and I'll just eat it with some, you know, like some fruit, watermelon or something, you know, as well. But this is my main dish. There's quite a bit of protein in this. The chicken has 19 grams of protein per serving, and a serving is 3 ounces, which is 2.5 servings per container. So we've got 5 servings in here according to the can. So if you could break it down to 5, which your points would be less, but I like to have a nice portion. So I'm going to break this down into 4. And when I break stuff down like this, I have a little weigher that I like. This is an inexpensive weigher. I got it at Walmart long years ago. And I will put a little container on here that I would like to have the size to eat. Zero it out, put the container on, and then just fill that container and see how much it is, and then how many I can get. And that's how I determine how many servings this is. But this is 4 for me, but you can make it more. However much you want to eat at one time. Because for lunch, I'm usually hungry at lunch, and I'm going to want a substantial amount of food. And I'll also pack a pickle with this, a dill pickle. Just that little bit of salt and garlic kind of mixed together is really good. So, that's my chicken, whoop, look at that. My chicken salad recipe. It's really good. Like I said, you can try any kind of grape in it. You could probably even put blueberries in it if you wanted to. I might have to try that. Alrighty, so this is 3 points for 1 serving And like I said, this is 4 servings. This is probably going to be about a little over a cup of chicken salad per serving, so that's plenty, you know. And you can have a regular salad with it if you want, just a lettuce, tomato, cucumber salad or something. The 0 points. And then your lunch is 3 points right there. Your pickles are 0, your salad would be 0, this would be 3. So, oh, and my green beans are boiling. Let's go over here and look at my green beans. They're boiling nicely now. Now at this point, I'll probably just turn them down a little bit because they are rapidly boiling. We just kind of want them to simmer for most of the day. Oh, they smell so good. And at a pretty good simmer. And like I said, stir them occasionally because you just want to mix them around in there. And once they're cooked, you just drain it. I just take a spoon and drain it from my plate. Oh my gosh, they're so good. Makes me think of my grandma. So anyway, so we did the green beans and we did the chicken salad today. The green beans were 1 point. The chicken salad was 3 points. So pretty good. All right, we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.